Welcome to another movie review on this channel, again with Greg here.
Hi.
And today I had a big moment in my movie life, in my movie watching life.
You did?
Yes, you always said I should watch it. I should watch a movie of him, let's say that. And I finally did. Can you hand me the Blu-ray? I finally watched.
Of course I can.
Yes, I watched a movie from Lars von Trier. Trier, do you say that in
Von
English?
Trier.
Von Trier. Yes. And it's, in this case, Dancer in the Dark, released in 2000 by him. Yes.
Lars von Trier, starring Björk
Yes, Björk.
and Peter Stormare. It's about a young
True.
woman from Czechoslovakia
Mhm.
who came to America, and she is working in a factory, and she has a bad eyesight, and it's getting worse and worse. And while she's working, she also has to raise a young boy
Mhm.
who is also suffering from the same disease as she. And then things start to get worse in her life, and she gets convicted of things.
Mhm.
And that's basically the film, otherwise we would spoil it.
Yes.
So now I'm taking over and I'm asking you questions because it's your first time watching a Von Trier film. So what are your thoughts about the film? Tell us.
I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to act like you have never seen Von Trier yet, and I have to explain him to you.
Yeah.
For me, when the movie started, I was a bit taken aback by the style, because I did not expect it to be found footagey.
It was handheld.
Yeah, I mean, not even that, like the quality also. It
Yeah.
reminded me, not like Blair Witch, but kind of like the way it was done, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes, so that I didn't expect that at first. I had to get used to that. I really had to, with the zooms and the jump cuts as well. I had to get used to that. And one thing also that, what should I say? It's the way he structures the movie. I mean, it feels. I think it's intentional that it feels long.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yes, and also the whole movie essentially because I haven't seen because it's supposed to be kind of musically, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a musical.
Okay.
His take on musicals.
Yeah, right. And you said it perfectly. His take, because I've never seen a musical this way. I kind of like it. So that's kind. I didn't expect it, because when the first song hit, I was like, oh, this is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, but actually there were like this. There's one, it's a third one, I think, that I really like. Played perfectly into the scene. But yeah, it's. I would say it's just a different take. It seems like he does his stuff the way he likes. He doesn't care what the mainstream does. That's how it feels to me.
Mm-hmm.
And he also really likes to make you feel bad, as it seems.
Yeah, I would also agree with that. He wants to make you feel emotions.
Mm-hmm.
In every sort of way.
Yeah.
Either he wants to make you laugh,
Mm-hmm.
and he does it perfectly, and if he wants to make you cry and feel miserable and down, he can also do that.
Yeah.
In that regard, he's a great filmmaker, great
Mhm.
Danish filmmaker.
Yeah, true. Especially like in the end, it's in your face, and you will feel bad now, and you just watch it. I mean, I remember we both were silent throughout the ending. It was nothing happening.
Yeah.
Just like, because I didn't expect it. I'm not even like used to this like really bad ending.
Really, you're not?
No, I'm not. I'm used to this. Normally I'm like, yeah, and here's it's saved and all great, or at least there's some like great thing. I mean,
Yeah,
there
was.
there's
I mean,
one, yeah.
we're not spoiling anything.
Yeah,
I
right.
mean, basically, if you haven't seen the movie, it's 19 years old. So, but we will be careful not to spoil anything.
Yes.
In the end, when this person gives the main character the glasses, that was the uplifting moment for
Yes.
me. It was the uplifting moment you wanted, but then he took it away.
Yeah, he took it away again. Yes. Yeah, the ending is really
powerful.
Yes.
I would say it's powerful.
Yeah, it's one of those movies that end and you still have to think about it.
Yeah, you have to digest it.
Yeah, true. It's not like a movie you say, okay, I'll watch it, bye.
It's not an easy watch. It will stay with you
Yes.
for better or worse.
Mhm.
If you're not equipped for that kind of movie, you will either hate it. It's a very divisive film.
True.
And yeah, you will either hate it because it's such a downer, or you will love it because of that. I don't think there's that much of a middle ground in there.
Yeah.
And what did you think of the performances from the actors?
I mean, I'm amazed at the performances because again, like the filmmaking style with the acting, I had to get used to it. But I think it's more the editing that made it like different for me. Because it's like sometimes jump cuts from one scene to another. But the acting, especially like towards the middle and the end, from Björk especially, is just, I mean, I would say, I'm trying to find the right word for it, it's remarkable.
Mesmerizing?
Yes, it's like one of the best performances I've seen in quite some months, actually.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. And she isn't even a trained actor, right? Is she?
I don't know. I don't think so.
She's a singer, you said, right?
She's a singer. Yeah.
Which country?
New Zealand. A singer from New Zealand.
All right, yeah. I mean, that's incredible.
She's incredible. I mean,
did this movie get like a nomination for something?
It was awarded best film in Cannes.
Okay, at least, yeah.
2000.
That's good. Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, I thought the performances across the board were great. And there was one scene in the film where you have it's toward the middle, and there's a really tragic and horrifying scene. And how does he transition to a next scene? He does a musical number.
Yeah.
That's in a way uplifting, but also isn't.
Yeah.
It's very melancholic in a way,
Yes.
but it's also in a way hopeful.
Yeah, that's the one I really like. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. It was like, for my emotions, they went. It's the movie is a roller coaster of emotions.
Yes.
Because at first you're feeling good and you feel bad and then you feel good, and it just keeps switching and you don't know what's coming next. But I would also say it's one of the more accessible Lars von Trier films.
Okay.
His later ones are more in a way different. It's a different kind of hard to get in. This one is more accessible, but that's not saying it's a very easy to get in movie.
Yeah.
It isn't by any means, but it's more. I mean, if you compare it to Antichrist, which he did in 2009, yeah, this movie is horrifying in a way. It's a psychological drama, and if you haven't seen the film, it's about a couple that have experienced a tragic loss in their life, and they retreat to a cabin in the woods, and bad things start to happen, and it's almost biblical in a sense, and it's very hard to watch, especially towards the end.
Okay.
But it's amazing also. So all of his movies are not easy watches,
Yes.
but they're definitely worth watching if you like film. If you want to experience cinema in its purest forms, this is one director that I would recommend.
And it's also like, I mean, probably all of his movies are divisive, right?
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, I think there are a few movies that are more critically acclaimed.
Okay.
Like Dancer in the Dark and Breaking the Waves and Dogville. Even to some degree Antichrist and Melancholia. There are some, but after 2014 Nymphomaniac Volume 1 and 2 and The House to Jack Built that came out last year weren't that critically acclaimed as the prior ones, especially Melancholia. Nevertheless, they're great movies and they should be experienced. I think he's one of the greatest directors still working today.
Okay.
and I would definitely recommend Dancer in the Dark. In the whole, it's the music. There's not much music in the film, besides the musical scenes. And when I would say 90% of the time they work.
Yes.
Sometimes they don't, but you overlook it because it's not necessarily bad, but you just feel that there's someone behind the camera, someone who made a film that loves cinema, that loves making films, and so you don't really care if there's something in there that you don't like, because you just appreciate what he did with this film.
Yes. And
I think that's more important than finding, because I really don't have any criticisms with it. It's a flawless movie. I mean, the movie is as flawless as a movie can be.
I mean, I wouldn't go so far as to call it flawless, maybe, but I would, as you said, there are some songs or moments in the song that for me don't work. That I have to say, there was a moment where it really took me out for a second, just for a second. And I mean, again, that's purely preference, surely, but I think sometimes the way he edits stuff doesn't go with me well, you know?
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, it's different, fully, but it's weird. It's hard to say, actually.
Yeah, it's more like preference, and I mean, there's some things in there where I would say that it's not my style. Jump cuts are not my style. I normally don't like him, but he uses them confidently, and he uses them often and in a way where it works, especially for him. And if it works for him, I as a viewer agree with him.
It works well, actually, yes, because normally I don't like jump cuts as well. They work pretty fine here. Oh, well, actually, really good. So yeah, I would say aside from sometimes the musical numbers, which I'm not too confident about, I really like this movie. I mean, I really like this movie. So this is a perfect introduction for me.
Yeah, I would say if you want to get into Von Trier, if you have or you haven't, Dancer in the Dark is the best way. I mean, it's the first time I'm watching the film also. So I've seen his other stuff, his later work, but not his earlier work. And I would say if you haven't experienced one of his films, it's a good starting point. And from then on, I would move on to, if you want to go easy on yourself, I would recommend Melancholia, and then go on to a little bit more, I would say edgier stuff with Nymphomaniac or Antichrist and House of Jack Build. And by the way, House of Jack Build is one of the best dark comedies of last year. So also recommendation in that regard.
I'll try to watch it.
Yeah, Dancer in the Dark. So, your final thoughts on the film?
Final thoughts. You can definitely feel throughout the movie that there is a director behind it that has a vision. Fully. You can feel that, you know there is something behind all of this and there's a meaning, which I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed that it's different. It felt really refreshing. And yes, you have to get used to it. You have to accept it being different. And I would also say this is a movie, like for example, if you take a movie like, I don't know, like any sort of Disney movie, you can watch it all the time, you know?
Yeah.
This is, I know, bad comparison, but I just had no other movie in mind. And if you take this movie, this is a movie you really have to want to see. You have to be in the mood to see. You know what I mean? Because it really drags you down in the end.
You should prepare yourself.
Yeah, definitely. You should
psychologically.
Yes, you should be prepared for that. But aside from that, I would say it's a nearly flawless movie. I would say that. And yes, definitely, I will continue to watch other movies from him, and I would give this movie Dancer in the Dark a 9 out of 10.
And just watch it, just experience it, and yeah, that's the whole film. And I would say what the film tried to achieve, it did flawlessly, because I don't know how else you could have done it. I mean, I wouldn't go so far as say I could have foreseen what's going to happen.
That's true, yes.
So and he pulled the strings perfectly. He went on a journey with you, or basically you went with a journey with him.
Yeah.
You went on a journey with him, and yeah, either you follow along or you don't.
Yeah.
And I followed along, and it paid off tremendously. It's quite a ride.
Yes, definitely.
And from what he tried to do, I think he achieved it in every way, and I would recommend it to everyone who loves films, who likes films, who wants to experience something new. Maybe maybe you don't want to see the same films over and over again. You want to try something new.
Yeah.
And if you want to do that, then Von Trier is one of the best choices to go with, and I would give the film 10 out of 10.
There you go.
So
Perfect score. So, I mean, you probably already see and hear from this that we really enjoyed this movie. It is an awesome movie. You should definitely watch it. Different take on everything.
it's an amazing film,
Yes.
and it's worth your money.
Oh yeah,
If-
most definitely.
If you want to spend your money on
Yes.
something,
I'll buy it actually. Yes, I will.
Yeah, it's worth having in your collection
Yeah.
if you buy
Yeah, and
films.
if you want to expand your horizon beyond Marvel.
Beyond
Stuff
Marvel,
like
we're now being cliched with our responses.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have anything negative to say about this film.
Yeah. So that's our movie review.
Yeah, thank you for being on this channel.
Okay. Thank you for me being on my channel.
Yeah.
I would say thank you for you being on my channel.
Well, thank
I
you.
hope to do more movie reviews with you
Of
soon.
course, we can do that.
Because
I
the
hope-
good thing is when he's here, we can have some expert opinions on stuff.
I'm so flattered.
Yeah, I mean it's true. You should see all the movies behind here. But
Oh,
yeah,
you wouldn't want that. It's messy.
doesn't matter. So yeah, guys, that was the movie review for Dancer in the Dark. Hope you enjoyed it and see you later. Bye.
Bye.